Oh boy, I feel like a disappointed father right now. You know those books that have potential and they have a little bit of glimpses of being good and potentially being pretty great if they highlighted on that. And then a giant wet fart happens at the end of the book, as put so eloquently by my friend Austin over at Goosebumps Completionist. Check him out if you haven't already. Um, yeah, this book ends with a giant wet fart. And overall, the book does not really highlight or take on what it should have been, which is disappointing. But what are you gonna do in this adventure of going through all the Goosebumps books? You're gonna find a few wet farts, maybe more than one. Maybe enough to the point that you feel like you have bowel issues and you might want to get it checked out. Pepto-Bismol works pretty good, so you should probably go use that. Anyway, welcome to the review of Be Careful What You Wish For. That's right, I'm reviewing Be Careful What You Wish For. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribing to the channel and liking the video is a free way to support me and lets me know that you guys enjoy the content and motivates me to put out more content consistently. And also be sure to comment down below your own thoughts and opinions. How do you feel about this book? Did you like it? Do you agree with me on disliking it? And also, what are some books or Goosebumps book that you want me to get to in the future, near future, and I'll try to get to it as best as I can. And yeah, let's get into this review. So, what is Be Careful What You Wish For about? So Judith is a very tall girl in her class. By the way, her name is Judith. I forgot her last name, but her last name is also kind of weird. She said her parents must be from Hogwarts or something. I don't know how they came up with that name. But Judith is a very tall girl in class, and she basically gets relentlessly bullied by this other girl in her class. Basically, she trips her, calls her bird, says, "Hey, yo, fly away, bird, fly away, bird." And also, her whole class laughs at her. She's a klutz, she's dumb, you know, she's not good at basketball because the other girl who bullies her is very good at basketball, and in return, Judith sucks. She's not good at basketball at all. So basically, throughout her school career, she's not had a good time. She's been getting relentlessly made fun of, whether it be intentionally or unintentionally. So one day, as she's basically riding through the woods on her bike, she meets this woman with long black hair and this, I think it was like orange or red dress. And basically the stranger's trying to like ask for her help to get to directions to somewhere. So Judith is like, all right, it's raining, it's breezy, it's cold, I'm having a hard time, getting back home, but you know what, let me help out this lady, let me help her get back to where she needs to be. So Judith helps her out, and she takes her back to where she needs to go. And she's a little bit weirded out because, when they're on the street, there's a car coming and Judith gets out the way, but this lady keeps on moving and then the car has to swerve and she's like, what's wrong with this lady? She's crazy. And then once she gets there, Judith is like, all right, I'll see you now. And then we find out the lady's name is Clarissa. And she really, really appreciates what Judith did for her. She's like, wow, you went through all this trouble to help out a stranger. I really appreciate it. And Judith is like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm gonna head out now. And then Clarissa stops her. She's basically like, you know what? In return for your help, I will grant you 3 wishes. And she pulls out this magic box. Like, I want to give you 3 wishes. And Judith realizes, what's wrong with this lady? She's crazy. She might be a little bit off her rocker. I suspected it, but now if she's asking me for 3 wishes, this lady's crazy. I helped out an insane woman back to her place. This is not good. But, Clarissa advocates, 3 wishes. I can grant you them. This is my gift to you. I want you to get this. Judith obviously leaves and sort of throws off whatever Clarissa said. And then, she keeps offering the 3 wishes. And then, she kind of just, I guess, makes for her first wish that she wants to be the best basketball player on the team. That's what she makes as her first wish. All right, I want to be the best basketball player on the team. That's my goal. Or I don't think it was best, but actually, no, it wasn't best. She said, I want to be the strongest basketball player on the team. So she makes that wish and she leaves. And obviously she's playing against her younger brother at her house just to like kind of test her suspicion, because she's like, all right, I don't believe this crazy lady, but just in case, let me test it out and see what happens. She gets whooped. She's terrible against her brother, and her brother absolutely whoops her, which is per usual. Even worse sometimes than what she did before. So she's like, all right, this lady's nuts. There's no magic. Obviously, I lost against my brother. I'm not the strongest basketball player. And then when she goes to school, all of a sudden, she notices that her team is acting up weird. They seem more tired and down the weather than usual. She's like, all right, what's going on here? And then as the game progresses, she sees more and more weird stuff happen, and she notices what's going on, and she realizes, oh, not everything is as it seems. Maybe this wish I made did not happen in the way I suspected it. Maybe there's a twist on how these wishes are going to end up, and there might be negative consequences that come with every wish. Hence the title of the book. If you couldn't guess that from the title of the book, be careful what you wish for. That's basically the gist of this book. So throughout the book, you will experience spells and kind of what's going on and how negative consequences will come from these wishes. Not everything will go as it seems. And I will say that this book, in terms of positives, the two last wishes, the second wish and the third wish especially, were terrifying. I mean, those wishes were scary. The second wish is like some, I guess you could say, apocalyptic situation, in which makes it like terrifying. Like that idea of that apocalyptic scenario being in real life and you being in it would be scary, and it feels so weird and, you know, an out of body experience. And the third wish towards the end, that third wish is, I would say, a real life horror. If you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. There's a certain scene involving Judith in her bedroom at night, and someone or something is in there, something happens, and it's terrifying. That's really scary. It's really uncomfortable reading that scene because that's real life horror. Even though it's for a book and it's played off as like, you know, this magical wish, that kind of stuff happens more than you guys think, and it makes for, you know, like real life scary moments where if that happened to you in real life, you would be terrified. I would be needing to change my pants immediately. And yeah, that would be scary. So those are the positives of the book. The fact that those two wishes, I think, were pretty well executed. But what are the weaknesses of this book? Judith and the characters are not that interesting. Judith's whole thing is she's a klutz and she's not very smart. And it kind of paints out in this book that she's not the brightest character. She's not smart at all. I forgot the name of the girl who bullies her. A lot of these Goosebumps characters, you forget their names easily. I'm sorry. But the girl who bullies her is just obnoxious. She's just, you know, to be quite harsh with my words, an ass. She's an ass. She's not a good character. And even with the other characters in the book, they're sort of just very spiteful naturally towards Judith. And it's like, why? Like, they're just like relentlessly spiteful towards her. There's not a real reason given. It's just her appearance and her height and everything. So they just bully her relentlessly. And Judith is so dumb by the end of this book that you're like, you know what? You deserve this bullying. You know, I was advocating for you, Judith, but seeing how dumb you are and some of the decisions you make, forget it. You deserved it. So yeah, the characters are definitely a weakness. The two wishes I mentioned are, like, they are, I guess you could say, scary, but the overall plot for this book is very just sort of all over the place. In terms of, like, the structure, it's just, again, a wish goes wrong. You think she'd learn. No, another wish goes wrong. All right. You really think Judith is going to learn, and obviously the third wish happens, and you're like, you are dumb as bricks. Why would you keep going through with these wishes if you know what's going to happen? Why would you keep going through with it? And it really just takes away from the book, because at that point you're just like, all right, you know what? You deserve this stuff. If I saw that the first wish did not help out, the second wish, I probably wouldn't go for it, but all right, it can happen. And the second wish is done in a very plot convenient way, where there's points in this book where Judith will make wishes and Clarissa's obviously not there. And then when Judith wishes something, like out of just pure rage in the moment, Clarissa will appear and just grant the wish, which I'm like is super plot convenient. The fact that Judith has made like 3 wishes that don't come true because Clarissa's not there present. And then as soon as Judith gets mad and she makes this angry wish, then all of a sudden Clarissa pops up like, "Hi there," ding. Like it's very plot convenient. The fact that and it did kind of annoy me. The fact that I get it's a kid's book, but the fact that Clarissa only appeared during that wish is like infuriating. It's like what are the rules behind this? All right, I grant you 3 wishes, but I'm only gonna appear when you make a bad wish, what I deem to be a bad wish. All right, whatever. Screw Clarissa. I don't care about her. I don't care about her. And then by the end of the book, you're like, all right, Judith, you have to learn. You have to know. You have to know. You have to know. And then she makes her 3rd wish, and you're like, thank God, thank you. You made the right choice. And then she adds a secondary part to that 3rd wish, which I'm like, didn't learn. Why did you not learn? Did you not understand how the first 2 wishes went? And you're still going through with it. At that point, you just have to suspend your reality of disbelief. It's just like, whatever. Screw this book. And if you think that all is disappointing, wait till I get to that climax twist ending. The twist ending to this book, let's say Clarissa gives her another chance. Judith takes it, makes a horrible decision. That's right, after 3 horrible decisions, there's a 4th horrible decision made. And the twist ending to this book is very much Revenge R Us. Now, I read Revenge R Us first. I realized Revenge R Us is probably paying homage to Be Careful What You Wish For, because Be Careful What You Wish For obviously came before that. But yeah, now I realize Revenge R Us and Be Careful What You Wish For has 2 things in common. That is the twist ending, for a multitude of reasons. One of them being primarily involving animals. And also transformations. So yeah, I don't want to give it away. If you plan on reading this book, go ahead. Do I recommend it? I mean, yeah, I would say it has points where it's like worth it, but at the end of the day, that ending is that climax and twist ending is gonna make it pointless. And Judith is not the best character because of her actions, and obviously the bullies are just so abhorrently bullies that they don't even have reasoning behind what they really do. They just do it just to do it. And then by the end of the book, they just, I would say, get off easy is a nice way to put it. So yeah, that's my review of Be Careful What You Wish For. Overall, how would I rate this book? I don't really like giving number scaling because I feel like when I rank these books, it's all going to change. So by the way, whenever I give number scaling, it's going to change tentatively by the end of my read-throughs. I would give it probably like for those 2 wishes. Sorry, I woke up. Sorry about that. For those 2 wishes, magically I yawn by talking about this book naturally. I would give it probably a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 probably. This book is not good, but those 2 wishes kind of give it some redeeming qualities, but then the ending is a wet fart. I would probably give it like a, I don't know, 5.5, 6 out of 10. I would give it a D. I would give it a D, D minus. Actually 5.5 is an F, so I won't give it that. I'll give it a D. This is a D. I'll give it, like a 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because this book has redeeming qualities to not give it an F. And maybe I'll give it a 6.5 just because I really like those 2 wishes and those were genuinely scary moments. And this book had potential. So I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a D. It's still a D. But I think that just the fact that, the ending was the way it was and just the way the characters are, it really drags down this book. So do I recommend you read it? Yeah, honestly, I would probably read it just for those, those 2 wishes, because I do feel like those 2 wishes are scary and you will probably genuinely get scared by that. But just be prepared for what's going to come in terms of the climax, the ending, and obviously the not likable characters. So that's my review. Again, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Free way to support me, lets me know what type of content you guys enjoy. And also, comment down below your own thoughts and opinions. Do you agree with the chapter? How I review the chapter? Do you not agree with it? And let me know what books you want me to review later on. And yeah, that's it for today. Deuces. I thought Revenge on Us was bad. And after reading this ending, Revenge on Us is still shit. But this is also shit. The duality of super stish shit. See what I did there? No?